Alright, this is where I am right now. It's in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And I'm here for this tonight. Queen Riverboat. Alright, this is the craft that be going on. Got 2 floors. 45-minute cruise up the river. And hold on that barbecue. Going to have an all-you-can-eat barbecue at dinner, which I'm looking forward to. I purposely haven't eaten very much today. So this is the seating. A lot of people are upstairs right now because there is a bar up there. Restrooms right down here. Got the captain's favorites. Hopefully not while he's driving the boat. Hey everybody, Tom here for Tom's Road Trip, and I'm in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And tonight I'll be sailing on the Queen Riverboat. Going to be a 45-minute cruise up the river to a private island, and they have a all-you-can-eat barbecue buffet for everybody, followed by a Polynesian style show, hula dancers and fire breathers and batons, I'm assuming. I'm excited for this. This was the primary reason for coming to South Florida this year on this particular road trip. I want to thank Holly for one of my subscribers for suggesting this. Something a little bit different that I've never really done. It sounded fantastic. They do have day cruises all week long. However, the dinner cruises are only on select nights after 6 p.m. when it's not their normal operating time, except for the dinner cruise. So again, I'm looking forward to this. I haven't eaten much today, so I'm very hungry. Looking forward to the barbecue. We are about 45 minutes about from sail time, and we'll see what happens. Alright, they also got seating upstairs. It's probably going to be on the right-hand side. Alright, so they also have some non-alcoholic options available. I'm in my seat. You see all of the life preservers, you know, the flotation devices. Just in the off chance we have a little snafu. So if you do come here to do this, parking is across the street. You pay via an app online. So we got about 45 minutes once we leave. So we should be back here by 10 p.m. So this is gonna be nice. Definitely looking forward to this. Alright. Looks like we are getting ready to shove off. Okay. Enjoy.
Happy birthday, bro.
Have you ever been on this?
No. Oh, yeah.
All right, folks. Welcome to the Jungle Queen. How's everybody doing tonight?
Woo!
Yo, let me ask, is everybody happy?
Yeah!
Is everybody hungry?
Yes!
Yo, we got all you can eat. Chicken, ribs, cornbread, beans. You're going to eat all you want. Enjoy yourselves, okay? After you're done with dinner, we're going to bring out our night-to-night Polynesian dancers. They're going to teach you some of the dances of Polynesia. And then we're going to wind up the night with our fire dancers. So it should be a lot of fun. We should have a good time. Okay?
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Before we get started, though, I got to go over a few regulations with you.
Especially the food
Coast
part.
Guard regulated seated vessel, meaning you must remain in your seats at all times. Other than get up, go to the bar, the restroom, take a quick photo or video, we ask that you remain in your seats. We're also a non-smoking vessel. That's cigarettes, cigars, e-cigarettes, vapes, wacky tobacco, all that stuff. No smoking on the vessel whatsoever.
Ah, boo!
Right, for your safety, if you look above your heads there, you'll see those orange blocks. Those are your life jackets. Now, we've been here since 1935, folks, and never had to use them. How about a round of applause for that?
Woo!
And
Hopefully it fits.
those are the same life jackets.
Ah!
Hey, you got a window seat. Put your hand out the window there. Give it a shake. Feels pretty nice out there. No humidity tonight. You also just found your emergency exits. So if you see me do a swan dive out the window, just follow right behind me. Otherwise, stay in your seats, okay? Let me introduce you to the crew. Up top, spinning the wheel, we have the very talented Captain Ray and Captain Jay. You'll see why I say talented when we head up the New River today. Considered one of the most challenging rivers in the country to navigate. Very shallow, very narrow, and it's lined with $1 million vessels. Walking around on board tonight, you're going to see Chloe and Mason. If you have any questions, reach out to them. That's what they're here for. They'd be glad to help you out. My name's Justin. I'm going to be your host and commentator tonight. But you can forget about all us, okay? The two most important people on this boat, you may have met them already. They're right in the back there. That's Malik and Luke, your bartender. Yeah, the more you go see those two, the better my tour is going to get, okay? All right, folks. Before we get started, I'm going to go over a quick synopsis of the gentleman you're going to hear me talk a lot about tonight. His name is Wayne Huizenga, and Wayne was our local billionaire philanthropist. We got a lot of billionaires here, but we call Wayne ours because he contributed millions of dollars and resources into the revitalization of our downtown area as well as our waterfront. And he did it in conjunction with our once long-term serving mayor,
Oh my God, look at
Jim
some of these
Norvo,
boats.
who was first elected at 38 years old
Or
and
yachts.
served for 24 years. Those two guys transformed Fort Lauderdale. Now, Wayne wasn't your typical man with your typical resume. He's the only individual man to start 3 Fortune 500 companies from the bottom up on his own. Number one, he started with $25,000 in a dump truck. Waste Management, still one of the most profitable companies in the entire world today. Number two, AutoNation, the largest conglomerate of car dealerships in the world today. And number 3 was Blockbuster Video. I know, I used to get some giggles out of that one. Don't worry about it, we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Oh, I miss
He's also the
Blockbuster.
only individual man to own 3 professional sporting teams at the same time by himself. He owned the Miami Dolphins, the Panthers, and the Marlins. He actually started the Panthers and the Marlins. Okay? Another little piece of fun there. As far as the Marlins go, when they won the pennant, he sold them at their highest value. Then they dropped in the rankings. He bought them back. They won again, he sold them again. Pretty good, right? All right, folks. Coming up in just a moment, we're going to come to our first mansion here on the right, okay? It'll be coming up right along the seawall as we go by. I'll point it out. It's this big white mansion with the black and white striped awnings. This is the home of Mike Mulrooney. And in the early and mid-90s, Mike was the largest used car dealer here in Florida. And then in 1995, Wayne Huizenga came to Mike. He said, Mike, I know you're a big shot in this car business. How would you like to go right off the charts? He said, I'm forming a new conglomerate of car dealers called the AutoNation. I'd like you to come on board as my CEO and chairman of the board. This is Mike's home right here coming up on the right. He jumped at that opportunity. He stayed with Wayne until 2015 when he retired. When he did, they were at 483 car dealerships, the largest car conglomerate in the world.
That's it right
You get an idea
here.
just how large Mike's home is? Take a look down this canal as we go by. It goes the
There's his
entire
wife
length
with
of
his
this canal
dogs.
down, about 200 yards. It's a man at home. All the way down that brown dock, all one home.
That is a nice home. Wow.
All right, now coming up next on our left, coming up here, you're going to see this white home with the beige trim. It's got the gazebo out there with the brown roof and the spiral columns. This is the home of Roger Wittenberg. And Roger was the owner and founder of Ladies of America Fitness Centers, not to be confused with LA Fitness Centers. LA Fitness Centers is a big company here in the U.S., 550 locations. Ladies of America, 1,300 locations, 9 countries.
Multi-million-dollar homes right here.
It's Roger's home right there on our left. Now we ping-pong our way back over to the right here. Coming up on the corner, just across the next canal, you'll see that apricot-colored home out there in the point. This gentleman here, he made his fortune one slice at a time. What do I mean by one slice at a time?
Pizza!
This is the home of Jim Dinkman, the owner and founder of the Honey Baked Ham Company. Now, it might seem crazy to make all this money off a sliced ham. It's really not. The crazy part, who convinced you and I a ham for $140? The guy was a genius. Yeah. This is Jim's home right here. Hey, look at that big iguana on the seawall right in front of the shrubs. Maybe that's the secret to his ham.
Yeah.
Big one right there.
Yeah, go on right there.
Right here on the left, you'll see these red and green markers in the water. Those are our channel markers. They're telling our captain where he can and cannot go. Can't take the sharp left here. If he did, he'd drown the boat on our local sandbar. This afternoon, you would have found 200 to 300 boats out here partying earlier. 2 floating bars and 2 floating restaurants. It's a great spot to come every day and watch all the bad decisions you've ever made in your life happen right before your eyes.
Can you imagine how much a house that they're building is going to cost?
Folks, this great home with the blue awnings from the mid-40s to the mid-60s, that was the largest home on the New River. Now it's been surpassed many times since, but that was the first real big money that came here that all the other money followed. That was the home of the Vanderbilts. When Gloria passed away, she left it to her son, Mr. CNN himself, Anderson Cooper. Anderson had it for about 2.5 years, spent very little time there, and sold the home. As I was saying, we can't take a sharp left here. We ground the boat on our sandbar. But we could go up and around it. If we did, in 3 hours, we'd be in Bayside Marketplace, Miami. 3 hours after that, we'd be in Key West. 3 hours after that, we'd be in Cuba. 2 minutes after that, we'd be in jail. So instead, we're going to go up the river to downtown Fort Lauderdale. You can see our skyline there, no New York to Chicago. Fairly new. It's grown in leaps and bounds. The difference with all our high-rises there, they're not loaded with corporate offices. It's entirely residential accommodations. We're just looking for someplace to put everybody. This big white mansion right here on our right, last year Messi put a deposit on that home. He backed that up the last minute when he realized that the local sandbar would be right in front of his home. He didn't like that, so he ended up buying in a gated community here in Fort Lauderdale. All right, we're going to start heading up the river. Oh, wait, right there on that stone wall. I don't know if you can see it. You see the crocodile? Yeah, the crocodile right there. You can sit down, folks. It's not a real crocodile. But it's a very special crocodile. Remember the polo shirt that cost? That was Rene Lacoste's home. Now, Rene passed away quite some time ago. Before he did something pretty neat. He deeded the crocodile to the property, so it always stays when he sells the home. Kind of his own little legacy to himself. What most people don't realize, the reason Rene put that on the polo, he was a tenacious tennis player. And on the court, all his friends called him the crocodile. It was a nickname. Right here on the left, this tricolored mansion here with stonework, that's the home of Bruce Paddock. He owned Paddock Pharmaceuticals in Minnesota, a generic drug company. Sold it for $590 million. Came down here and built that home. Do you notice there's 2 matching yachts there? Do you know why he has those? Because he can. Yeah. One stonemason did all that stonework by hand. He was 3 years into doing that when Bruce came to him and said, I love your work, but you've been at it for 3 years. I want to move into my house. He said, Bruce, it's going to take me another 3 years to finish. Bruce said, well, I don't have another 3 years. He said, stop that stonework. We'll finish it like a normal home. I said, Bruce, there's nothing normal about your home. It's going to take me 3 years. Bruce said, no, you can do it in 2. You just need somebody to push you along. He said, who would that be? Bruce said, that would be me.
Wow, look at these pools. Infinity pools.
And I'm going to sit on the lawn and watch you work every day, and I bet you finish it in 2. You know what? He finished it in 2 years. Bruce turned around, sold that home next door, made a $3.5 million profit. Right here on the right, folks, this apricot-colored home in green striped awnings. That's the home of Herbert Cole. Herb was a senator in Wisconsin. He also owned the Milwaukee Bucks for a period of time. Well, you know, must know before. That's Kohl's at McKay. He's the owner and founder of the largest chain of department stores in the world today, Kohl's Department Stores.
Big yard also.
So rest in peace, Herb. Right here on your right, this yellow Venetian-style mansion. This was a gift from the gentleman we've been talking about, Wayne Huizenga, to his daughter Pamela. As a matter of fact, the next 3 homes were all gifts from Wayne, the family members. About $97 million in gifts back in the day. I don't know what it would be today. The second one here, this white one with the aqua furniture, he gifted this to his sister Bonnie and her husband, Whit Hudson. Bonnie and Whit Hudson. Whit was in the trash business. He eventually went to work for Wayne at Waste Management. He used to keep a big yacht right there on the dock. The name of the yacht was Business Stinks. Not bad for a trash hauler, right? If you go right across the canal, the next home here with the gazebo and the diamonds on the seawall, he gifted this to his nephew, Stephen Hudson, Bonnie and Whit's son. Now, Stephen was a young guy, about 30 years old. He came to Uncle Wayne one day. He said, Uncle Wayne, everybody's on these VHS tapes. Maybe we should get in on this. So they did. They formed Fortune 500 company number 3, Blockbuster Video. I know what you're thinking. That one wasn't such a good idea. Not true for the magic of the high Zeniths. Again, Stephen came to Uncle Wayne one day. He said, Uncle Wayne, everybody's on this satellite radio, these CDs. Maybe it's time we unloaded this Blockbuster. So they put together a deal with Viacom. And they sold Blockbuster to Viacom. Looks like the movie came out early. They sold Blockbuster to Viacom for $8.4 billion.
All right. Guys in the boat we just passed by
What happened 10 months later?
did something. I'm glad I didn't film.
They hung a BA.
Huh?
They hung a
Maybe
BA.
inside information there. I can't guarantee you. You girls, you gotta get out more often. My God.
I like that.
That's a good party yard there.
This is
All right,
nice.
coming up
Wow.
next, folks. Right here, actually, this brick mansion here. I'll mention that first,
That
only
is
because it's sold
gorgeous.
recently for $32 million. Reminds me of something should be in the Northeast, surrounded by snow, maybe in Vermont.
Look at that, man.
It's
That
got
is
12 bedrooms,
fantastic.
8 baths, formal ballroom, pretty special home. We're coming up next here on the left. This is my favorite property on the entire tour. It's a 7-home palatial estate that was Wayne Huizinga's himself. The first 2 homes are separate, the other 5 are all connected. The first one here with that yellow one with the tree all lit up, that was the mother-in-law's house. How do I know that? It's pretty simple as far as from the main home. That second little green cottage there, that
Property for
was the
sale.
original house for a 90-pound German Shepherd.
Take down the number. You can buy this property right here.
Notice the statue of the Dolphins on the lawn. Remember, Wayne did own the Miami Dolphins.
House not included.
Now, the pride and joy of his property was his bell tower here. The bells up top played 100 of his favorite songs. On the second level, there's a hot tub. Down below, a dining area and a lazy river that circles the property.
Wow.
If you notice all that beautiful yellow scroll work on the tower, that yellow staircase, that's not paint, folks. That's inlaid gold. Now, Wayne was ill. He passed away in 2018. But before he did, he asked his family to do him a favor. He said, look, guys, I'm not going to be here much longer. And when I'm gone, you can keep this home as long as you like. But the day you decide to sell it, I want
nice
every
park.
penny to go to my 8 favorite charities here in South Florida. The night he passed away, the family already cut a deal with Chuck West, the owner of Pet Supermarkets, Petco. They sold him the home for a very reasonable $21 million. And the next morning, the family wrote 8 checks totaling $21 million to Wayne's 8 favorite charities.
I like how they have the blue lights under the water.
Do I
That's
have any
pretty
Harry
cool.
Potter fans on board? Good, because right in front of us and be on our left in a moment is the Harry Potter mansion. Now this is straight out of Harry Potter. My son was a Harry Potter freak. I had to read all the books, watch all the movies, go to Diagon Alley, Universal, ride the train, the whole bit. This is straight out of Harry Potter. Now, Wayne knew nothing about Harry Potter. What he did know, his niece back there, Holly, Bonnie and Whit's daughter, she was a Harry Potter freak. And she announced she was getting married. So what did Uncle Wayne do? He sent his guys up to Universal Disney, contracted the same architects that did the whole theme up there. They came down here, built that home for him, and then he gifted it to Holly, a $22.5 million starter home for her wedding gift. Yeah, what size mansion did you guys get from your uncle? Yeah, my rice cooker still works. Coming up here next on the left, this home with a pontoon boat on with its flying American flag. This is a pretty famous home from a famous movie starring Nick Nolte, Jessica Lange, and Robert De Niro. This was the main home in the movie Cape Fear. Now you might say, wasn't that about a river in North Carolina? It was. So why would they film it at a river here in Florida when North Carolina is just up the road? They did it at great expense. They tore out all the palm trees, they brought in pine trees, make it look like North Carolina. The reason they did that, our local resident and star of the movie, Nick Nolte, who was doing 2 of his favorite things at the time. He was drinking and driving, had on an ankle bracelet, and couldn't leave Florida. So Hollywood bought the movie to Nick. Yeah, only in Hollywood, right? Right here on the left, this beautiful home here reminds me of Citizen Kane or something. That pool right there. Remember I told you Wayne Huizinga owned the Miami Dolphins? And when he did, he recruited Nick Saban, the just retired coach of Alabama, the highest paid college football coach ever, the winningest college football coach ever. When he recruited Wayne for the Dolphins, he gave Nick that home as a sign-on bonus. Do you wish you knew this guy? Coming up next on our left here, just after the next yacht, not this
That's
one,
a nice
next yacht, you're going to see this home with the brown dot, brown Adirondack chairs. This is the home of Anthony Bruno. And Anthony's the owner of what's probably one of the most well-established restaurants, Italian restaurants, here in Fort Lauderdale, if not in South Florida. Anthony's Runway 84. They just went through a multi-million-dollar facelift. You go in there tomorrow night and Saturday night, like walking into a scene from Casablanca. All the waiters are lined up in the back in black and white. There's an orchestra playing in your dining room. Your meals some Saturday nights will come out in silver and platinum plates. Large portions, very, very good food. It's a little pricey, but definitely worth checking out. Anthony's Runway 84.
It's the only private boat dock right here.
He also just sold to Riverboat Anthony's Cold Fire Wings and Pizza, the franchise. That's also theirs. Right on your right here, folks, you'll see this beige home with the arched windows. In the early 1900s, this was the Needham House. It was owned by Sheriff Clark. He entertained notables here like Winston Churchill, Franklin D. Roosevelt. Went through many hands, eventually became the John T. Power School of Modeling. Some famous models went here, a couple you might be familiar with, Cheryl Teagues and Christy Brinkley. Right here on the left, folks, you're going to see this little boat here on the left. This is the home of Jim Naugle, our once long-term serving mayor. I told you did so much for us. First elected at 38 years old, he served for 24 years. Jim is very well liked and very well respected here in Fort Lauderdale.
It's difficult to see this stuff on the left side.
Jim's a great guy, a lot of fun. If he was inside there tonight, every night when I come by when he's inside, I hit his window with a spotlight. He's got one 3 times the size of mine in there. He blasts the boat back with it every night when it's dark out. Been doing it for years for us. All right, folks, we're coming into downtown Fort Lauderdale now. And coming up on our right here in a moment, you're going to see a very good restaurant. It's the Boathouse Restaurant. It's located inside the Riverside Hotel. The Riverside Hotel is the oldest hotel in Fort Lauderdale. They opened up their doors in 1936. When they did, the gentleman that did the ribbon cutting here, someone you're probably familiar with, he was an actor, and then our president, Ronald Reagan.
Ooh.
And this is the Boathouse Restaurant right on the right. Now, folks, we're coming into downtown Fort Lauderdale. Right on the other side of these buildings is Los Olos Boulevard, what we call our
Look at this yacht. Oh, my God.
Restaurants,
Wow.
cooking shops out there. It's a great place to go dining, cocktail. There's nothing else, just people watching. I'm going to ask you guys to do me a favor, okay? It's kind of important. As we come through downtown here, if you see people waving to you, please wave back to them, okay? Because most of the people down here, they're retired. That's the only exercise they get. So, give them a big wave, right? I'm right there with them. Right here on the right, folks, this little white house here is flying a flag. It's got the green and white awnings or railings. It might seem a little out of place. It should. It's the Stranahan House now, the Stranahan Museum. It's the oldest house in Fort Lauderdale, built in 1901 for Frank and Ivy Stranahan. In 1901, there were no roads here. Frank ran a ferry service that brought you across the river. He also ran a trading post out of there with the Seminole Indians. His wife Ivy, she taught them English out of there. He eventually became the post office and then their home. The red sidewalks you see on either side of us, that is our river walk, and the funds for that were donated to us from the Huizenga family. That's Salt 7 out there on the right. In a moment, folks, we're going to come around the corner, and we're going to come to the 3rd Avenue Bridge. The 3rd Avenue Bridge is a double-span on-demand bridge. What I mean by that is our captain's calling the bridge tender here, telling them we're coming, and they're going to open up this bridge on demand for us. Unlike back on the Intercoastal, they open up on a regular schedule. They can't do that here. Picture this when this river is crowded. We're in one of the most wider parts right now. You got 4 or 5 yachts in front of you, twice the size of this, 4 or 5 in the back of you, a few tows. Every pontoon boat renter in the world that never drove a boat before sitting around here. There's no way they can have everybody backed up for a bridge, so they open these bridges on demand for us. Yeah, we got a little traffic jam up there right now. Now, folks, we've got a tradition here on the Jungle Queen we've been doing since 1935. All these bridges here, we're going to go through about 4 of them tonight. They're all controlled by the same family, the Johnson family. They're all sons, cousins, brothers, okay? So every night when we go through the bridge, we say hello to Mr. Johnson, okay? It just so happens this one right here, he's the biggest Johnson on the river, okay? So, well, hey. So when we go through this bridge here tonight, we're going to say hello to Mr. Johnson on the count of 3, okay? He'll be up here in the window on the right. If he hears you, he's going to come out and give you a wave. If he doesn't hear you, he's going to make us sit here an extra 5 minutes when we come back tonight. So make sure he hears you on the count of 3 when I give it to you. Then after we go through the bridge, right on the left here, just a minute ago I showed you the oldest hotel in Fort Lauderdale. When we go through the bridge on your left, I'm going to show you a very special hotel here. It's the largest hotel in Fort Lauderdale. But first we're going to go through the bridge and we're going to say hello to Mr. Johnson. Hey, if you're local, you might remember about 3-4 months ago there was a construction accident. A crane fell from 21 stories and landed on a bridge. This was the construction site and the bridge had landed on right here.
Oh.
All right, folks, get ready on the count of 3. Look for him as we go through the bridge. He's going to come out of that window up on the right. At least I hope he does. I don't feel like waiting around tonight. I've been working since this morning. You ready on the count of 3? 1, 2, 3. Hello, Mr. Johnson! Is he up there in the window? There he is.
There's the window.
There he is. He's waving. He's waving. He's waving. I see him right there.
All right, guys, as I promised, right here on the left is a very special hotel. It's the largest hotel in Fort Lauderdale. Last night they had roughly 1,500 people stay here. If you check in before 11 a.m., you get free breakfast.
This is fancy.
It's okay. The rooms are a little small, but security's top-notch, self-service is good. I can vouch for it. I recently spent 3 nights here myself. Right here on the left, folks, this is the Broward County Jail. 3 hots and a cot right there. Only in Fort Lauderdale will we put our jail on an $89 million piece of dirt. Actually, the jail was built in the 70s and the 70s. This wasn't a very desirable area. It was all factories, warehouses, and boatyards. All right, in just a moment, we're coming to the Andrews Avenue Bridge. That's a single-span bridge. But before we do, take a quick look on the left here. You're going to see this yellow and blue bar.
Cement, I like that.
Downtown.
Wow.
They opened up their doors in 1925. They just closed recently, just shy of their 100th birthday. So we're going to miss them. But look down on the side. You'll see that red sign there? Back in the day, that was a speakeasy. Lots of booze got run up and down this river back in the day. Big prohibition territory here. The 2 guys that were in that back room cutting the deals, you're probably familiar with their names, Al Capone and Bugsy Siegel. They both had illegal drinking halls and gambling establishments here on the river. Al's was called the Fish Camp. In just a little bit, we're going to go buy Al's home, okay? They just took it off the historical register a few years ago so that the people that owned it could finally redo the home. So it's all brand new, but the frame, the structure of it, they asked them just to keep the structure and the frame, the bones of the home the same, so it's still the same shape.
More construction going on
We'll
over
see
here.
Al's home in just a little bit. Al actually had 13 different homes here. He claimed this one to be his favorite. All right, on the count of 3, folks, we're going to say hello to Mr. Johnson. 1, 2, 3. Hello, Mr. Johnson! Is he up there?
Where is he?
He should be up there.
Mr. Johnson!
I hope he's up there.
Big Johnson.
It's not there.
Yeah, Al Capone, he used to brag about his home up here where he could buy the fish camp. He had like 13 different homes here in Florida. He said this was his favorite. There were no roads out there back in the day, so he used to brag about how the authorities could never get them because they had spotters all over the river. They knew long before they were coming that they were coming. Eventually, they just let them alone out here. It was like going into the jungle.
Got the wharf.
Right in front of us, that green flashing light you see, that's our FEC Railroad Bridge. That's not an on-demand bridge. We obviously can't stop the train. As a matter of fact, there's not even a bridge tender here in a booth. The guy that's controlling this bridge here, he's in a booth all the way up in Jacksonville, Florida, doing it remotely. It's home to our freight line as well as our new Bright Line high-speed passenger train. If you haven't been on the Bright Line yet, it's a great way to travel. It does like 127 miles an hour. You get up in Orlando about 2.5 hours now, and they brought back the dining car, the bar car. You have a couple of drinks and boom, you're there. Kind of nice. Right on the left here, folks, this is the Pirate Republic Seafood Bar and Grill. It's a Brazilian-style seafood restaurant. If I have any fans of Guy Fieri's Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, they did an episode in here with Vanilla Ice. You can still pull it up online. I don't smell it. Usually I can smell the garlic right around here. I can smell it. How we doing, folks?
Good.
Right here on the right, this is our little park, our historical park. There's 9 different homes in there. 2 of them you can walk through. The other 7 are all locked up. The reason being they're not stable because they were picked up from other parts of Fort Lauderdale, bought and placed here to form this historical neighborhood that you can walk through. Right there on the right where those people are dining, that's an original, the house on the river. On Sundays they do a nice jazz brunch out there. If you look over the treetops here on the right, you'll see that big white building with the yellow archways up there. That's our Museum of Discovery and Science. Another donation from Auto Nation of Wayne Huizinga property.
Oh, God, it smells so good over here.
That's a great museum. They got a lot of cool stuff in there, including a flight simulator. Right in front of us, that's the Broward County Theater District, our answer to Broadway. We get all the same shows in there you get in New York. Schedule almost mimics that in New York's. It's actually not the largest theater district, but it is a very busy one. And it's kind of a nice place to see a show because there's several different theaters in there and they're small, so you never get a bad seat for a show. It's a great place to see a Broadway show. Now, folks, we got a lot of friends along the river. And coming up in a moment, I hope our friends are going to be up here on the weekend. Sometimes they're not, sometimes they're out. But there's a sailboat up here on the right. And these folks lost their home during Tropical Storm Dorian a few years ago. They've been living on their sailboat ever since. Every night when we come by, they come out to give us a big wave and say hello. He holds up his drink. I usually guess if it's a margarita, rum, and Coke. It's one or the other. Those are his 2 favorites. Some nights he supersizes it. So we're going to see if they're home here tonight when we go by. If they are, they'll be out here to wave goodbye or hello to us. I know some nights they're not out here on Friday nights, but we'll see. Then we're going to go through the bridge once again and say hello to Mr. Johnson.
See the bridge opening for us.
Oh, there they are. They're here. Give a big wave and say hello to our friends. We got a lot of friends on over here. There they are. Right over there giving us a big wave. Where's the cocktail? We got the cocktail tonight. Oh, there it is. Another supersize. Rum and Coke. Good to see you guys. Wait for us every night. On the count of 3, folks, say hello to Mr. Johnson. 1, 2, 3. Hello, Mr. Johnson. Good job.
Where is he?
All right, folks, we just came into Cooley's Landing. Cooley's Landing here, this was the first settlement to be developed along the river here back in the day. It was developed by William Cooley. He was gathering a plant along the shores here called kuka. It was like an arrow root. He was shipping it out to make candies and gums. And then in 1935, we had a little problem here. It was the 3rd Seminole Uprising. And the Seminoles didn't like the way things were going for them. Well, the Cooley's family and the rest of the white settlers here, they didn't make out so well during that. It was quite some years before things got going again in here. Now, if you notice, the vessels in here, they're much more small. They're much smaller. Over 50 feet. These are local guys, but much more reasonable to keep your yacht here than down where we left. Here you'll pay $8 to $12 a foot. Back where we left, you'll pay $18 to $28 a foot. All right, folks, coming up on the right here. Hopefully she's home. This is another good friend of ours. We have a lot of friends along the river. This is Miss Sophia. If she's home, she'll come out and give us a big wave, ring a bell, and blow us some kisses. See, it's right here with the lights. It looks a little dark. Miss Sophia, you home? I think she is. Say hello to Miss Sophia. We missed you last week. Good to see you back.
That's pretty cool.
Great story with Miss Sophia and her home there.
That's pretty neat that people do that.
The home used to be owned by Bob Weimer. He was an author. He wrote a lot about the paranormal. He'd still pull his books up on Amazon. You can purchase them. His favorite subject was the Bermuda Triangle. Does anybody believe in that? I don't. I sent my mother-in-law that 3 times. She came back every single time.
Oh.
Anyway,
Bazinga.
Bob got ill and he put that home up for sale. And Miss Sophia came to him one night. By the way, the booth there, the rail car, he put that there to sit through hurricanes. He sat through 6 hurricanes in that caboose. Never went anywhere.
Starting to get dark.
But anyway, he was put the house up for sale because he was ill. And they had 11 different offers on that home. And one night Miss Sophia there, she just came and knocked on their door out of the blue. She told them she wanted to talk to them about the house. So they invited her in. She sat down and talked to them for a couple hours.
Wow, this thing's
And
massive.
at the end of the night, she said, look, when I leave tonight, I'm going to give you my best offer on your home. I know it probably can't compete with the other 11 offers I hear you have. But she says it's my best offer. But if you consider it, I promise you this. If you sell me your home, I'll never move that caboose, and I'll never change the color from pink. They cut the deal with her and sold her the home down there. Kind of a special story, huh?
I would be a caregiver.
All right, folks. Right here on our right, you'll see this new home under construction. Now what's going on here, if you take a close look at it here, you can see all that fill they brought in. They had to take down the old home. Right now we're at low tide. If you can see there the seawall, at high tide, this property was flooding. Their home was filling up with water, their swimming pool was filled with water. So the reason being, everybody along this canal here, along the river, has raised up their property over years. The natural course of water is downhill. They were the last ones. They were getting everybody's water. They had no choice but to watch their home disappear on the entire peninsula, or to bring in a lot of fill and put a new home up. They decided to spend millions of dollars on bringing that fill. They have to do that to the rest of this peninsula in order for it not to disappear. It's a very costly endeavor, millions and millions of dollars, but they chose to take it on rather than have the property disappear. Back in the day, this piece of property here, it was called Little Florida because it's naturally shaped like Florida, the state of Florida. They say in the 50s, there was 2 homes here. All you had to do was put the person's name and write Little Florida. Their mail came right here. No zip code, no address. It would come right here. Now to get an idea of just how big a project this is, like I said, the house is now on 5 feet of fill. They're going to have to bring 5 feet of fill on here so it doesn't disappear. And to give you a good idea, when we come forward here, you can see the seawall up in front of us from the neighbors. Okay, we still got another 2 feet to go down at low tide. So that's the amount of fill they have to bring in to bring the entire property up to level with the one next door. They've already done it for the home here. You'll be able to see that difference when we go by. The new home is even with the seawall with the property next door. You can see it there? They have to do that to this entire peninsula in order to save the property. It's now even with the property next door. They'll do that to the whole property. Very, very costly endeavor. All right, folks, if you notice the homes here, some pretty nice homes.
Yeah, got the doggies coming up to say hi. Hi, doggy! Hi, puppy dog!
This is a working millionaire show right here.
Hi, puppy dog!
Doctors, lawyers, businessmen here. Beautiful homes, but not quite as crazy as down below.
People get excited for the doggies.
Now, I told you I was going to show you Al Capone's home, okay? It's coming up right here on the right. As I said, it's all been modernized in the last 2 years. It was falling down. They took it off the historical register. These people begged them to do it so that they could redevelop the property. But they left the bones and shape of the home exactly the same. It's right over here with that tin roof behind this big yacht. That was Al Capone's illegal gambling hall and drinking establishment, the fish house, back in the day. When Al had that out here, there were no roads out here. It was jungle. There weren't homes out here. It was like coming into the middle of the Everglades. But that was his home right behind this big yacht right here. That was the fish cannon. Those walls could talk, right?
I know.
Yeah, you can see it now with the lights. Used to be Al Capone's home. Wow.
Yeah, really.
Coming up in just a moment, we're going to come around the corner, folks. I'm going to show you what's called a chicky hut versus a tiki hut. They look very similar. The difference being a chicky hut is a design that was developed by the Seminole Indians. You get a hurricane, a tiki hut disappears in no time. A chicky hut will usually survive those hurricanes. It's all about the way the beams are placed up underneath the roof. It's a design developed by the Seminoles. I can attest to these things surviving hurricanes. I'm a big fisherman. I spend a lot of time out in the Everglades. You'll see these chicky huts. I see them all the time. They've been there for years. The thatch will be gone, but the structure is still standing. A tiki hut will be gone in no time. This one here was actually built by some local Seminoles for this family here. It's coming up right in our left. I'll put the spotlight on it. But this is a chicky hut versus a tiki hut. It's right here in front of us now. If you look up underneath, you'll be able to see the way the beams are placed. Much different than just making a tiki hut.
I don't think I'm gonna be able to.
But that's
see
a
it.
chickie right there. There's lots of them out in the Everglades.
Sorry, I can't show you the chickie hut. I thought it was gonna be like a chicken coop or something.
Yeah, top shelf.
Chickie hut, yeah.
Oh, right there. Oh, there it is. Right there.
Oh yeah.
Now, coming up in a moment on the left, folks, you're going to see this dilapidated greenhouse. It's up in front of us here. Okay, this was the greenhouse of Miss Lois. It's fallen down now. I don't even know why they keep it up here. You can see it up there in front of us. Can you see that? It's a dilapidated old greenhouse. They say Miss Lois made millions of dollars out of this greenhouse, raising and selling exotic orchids all over the world. Now, if you look at the size of it right here, it's right here. It's fallen down. I find it hard to believe you can make millions of dollars out of there selling orchids. I sometimes wonder if Miss Lois wasn't selling those orchids by the gram, you know what I mean?
Oh my God, that's insane. That is insane.
Coming up on our right here, another friend. This is my favorite buddy on the whole tour. I don't know if he's home tonight. Friday nights he's out a lot. But it'll be right here on our right with that blue pool. What are you home? I don't think so. It looks dark inside. No, not tonight. No, he's home. That's my favorite buddy. But, oh, wait a minute. Oh, there he is at the door. Can you see him at the door? The owners aren't home. That's my four-legged friend, Buddy. He's at the door scraping. Can you see him back there? He comes out every night.
Just saw him.
A little white four-legged friend of mine. He comes out barking and stands up on that boat and cheers to us every night. He waits for us every single night. We're out tonight, though. What's for dinner, folks?
It's coming up. I am starving.
It's actually an island. You can drive right around that whole condo complex. Parking's in the center. One little bridge brings you out there. Pre-COVID, you could have got a great deal in there. Now that they redid it all after COVID, not so much. On the right up here, you'll see this little park up here. There's a beach here. There used to be a big seawall there, but during Tropical Storm Dorian, it wiped out the seawall. So the town was going to spend millions of dollars to replace it, but the locals came to them and asked them not to replace it. They said, look, we got nowhere along the river to launch our kayaks and canoes. We'd like you to leave it open for us. The town was glad to save a few million. They said, wish granted. Now it's called Hunty Park. Named after that weed I was telling you that the William Cooley used to gather along the river back in the day. Now coming up in front of us, folks, we have another bridge here. Who are we going to say hello to? No, you silly people. This is Irving Schwartz. Yeah, Irving married one of the Johnson brothers' sisters, Sapphire.
All right, so it's getting really, really dark.
We're going to say hello to Irving
I'll pick it up when we get there.
Enjoy yourself. We'll have some live entertainment in the dining room, okay?
All right, we're almost
When you're
there.
done eating, take a little time. Go walk around the island. We got a lot of exotic birds in cages. We got a mama sloth and her baby. We got some baby alligators, okay? All the birds are really cute. They're so cute that if you put your finger in the cage, they'll have it for a snack.
All
so
right.
Put your finger in the cages, the birds, okay?
I'm looking forward to that, man. Have my finger
Once you
bit.
finish dinner and you've gone and walked around the island, at 8 o'clock, our Polynesian dancers are going to come out. They're going to put on a little Polynesian show for you, and then we'll wrap up the night with our Polynesian fire show. So it should be a lot of fun, folks. Enjoy yourself, okay? I hope you had fun listening to me. I had fun talking to you. I'll see you on the way back. Enjoy your dinner.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it.
There's a smoking section!
Yeah, I didn't realize my camera was filming the entire time since I left. As it got darker, it didn't change filters. So when I restarted filming, the correct filter came on, so it doesn't look quite as dark anymore. All right, so we are almost there. It'll be time for dinner. 100% looking forward to it, man. And ladies. All right, there it is. This is where we're going. Oh my goodness, I'm excited for this. I'm curious how they do this, if they bring the food to the table, or if you go up and wait in line and go to a buffet. I'm not sure. Find out soon though. Alright. So after I'm done eating, gonna check out the island and see some of the animals. Hello, how are you?
Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Of course. Hello.
Oh, I'm so excited for this. I do love food. And barbecue, I can definitely eat some barbecue, buddy. We got some of the stuff here on the table. Since I'm by myself, I'll be sharing a table with the group of people. I just finished my dinner and it was absolutely delicious. The chicken tenders were so good. And these aren't your fast food style or Tyson chicken tenders. These were really good. The breading was fantastic. The ribs were literally fall off the bone. The coleslaw was absolutely delicious. For me, coleslaw is hit or miss. It was just the right of sweetness. It was really good. Everything was gorgeous. The presentation was really nice. You have sides that are on the table. You got beans, you got the coleslaw and fries and cornbread. Then they bring you all the chicken tenders and the ribs that you want. Several different tipping sauces. They came and got our drink orders. Said I don't drink alcohol, so I got just a regular Coca-Cola. I'm kind of splurging on this trip. I'm trying to cut down on the soft drinks. But hey, I'm on vacation. So before the Polynesian style show starts, I'm gonna check out the island. They have a couple different animals around. That's always nice to see. So let's see what we can find. So this is the outdoor seating for the show. That starts in about 40 minutes. So it gives me a little bit of time to check out the rest of the stuff they got. So they got restroom locations, all of the gorgeous lush, planting and everything is really nice. So we got some macaws. Oh my goodness. Hi, pretty birds. Hi. Did you just wave with his paw, with his leg or foot? I didn't mean to say paw, they don't got paws. Caution, I bite on the sign. Hi, pretty birds. Hi. See, sometimes the macaws will talk back to you. Hi, birdies. Ooh, this is nice also. And now a lovely lady singing different songs while we enjoyed our meal, and that was really nice. She was fantastic. We got a Eurasian eagle owl. It's a very nice habitat. Looking all over for it. It's right there, right at the top. There we go. Look at that. Oh my gosh, what a pretty bird. And this is looking through a wire mesh, so in case it looks kind of wonky, that's the reason why. Man, such pretty birds. All right, next up we got macaw. We got two more macaws over here. Yeah, there's some lights in here, so it kind of brightens it up so that way you can actually see all the animals, which is a nice touch. Very pretty birds. Got ice cream and coffee you could get over here. We got the human habitat. Got this cool photo op here. Look like a human in a cage at a zoo. Then we got alligator. Oh my god, these are the cute little alligators. These are the nice juvenile gators. Wow. And the cool thing is South Florida actually has crocodiles in addition to alligators. Only place in the United States that has crocodiles. Place has some nice areas to just sit and relax. Very zen areas. Looks like a staff area. That's how the staff gets on the island. That takes you out to the docks. Let's see what's in this habitat. Alright, we got two-toed sloth. Since it's evening, I was kind of expecting the sloth to be out. That's not necessarily moving around, but oh gee, I don't even see it. Got in here somewhere. Caution, I bite. Ooh.
Look at his little swing.
The sloth is actually right there. Here we go. There's a sloth.
They are like tiny.
There's a sloth. That is funny. Yeah. It's got a very nice habitat. All sorts of stuff to climb on. Looks almost like he had a little bit too much to drink. Alright, showing you more of this fantastic place, because once we got off the riverboat, we were kind of brought inside right away. See, right over there is where the riverboat is docked. When we came off the riverboat, you see where all those lights are. That's the little walkway that we went through. Oh, and there's the riverboat. The picture. More seating over here. Got this very pretty type of bird. Yeah. Very incredibly colorful. Yeah, so lorikeet. Very pretty bird.
They are.
Oh, there's another one right there. Oh my gosh, I completely missed it. There's the other one. The other one's not as bright as the other one, so we kind of blended in. There we go. Now you see the two. I didn't even... Ooh, this is nice. Love a good waterfall. All the tropicalness. Ooh, this is nice. Alright, so the show is going to be starting soon. It took a little bit too long, but that's alright. You can still see the show really good from here. I saw an open spot, so I moved up.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We welcome you to Jungle Queen Island as we present the sounding of the calm. So sit back, relax, and enjoy as we ignite the night with drums of Polynesia.
All right. Woo! Hi. All right.
So uhiyor ako'y may mapo'i-po'i ako Teo now iyon na Ite mawata ato Teka po'i-po'i niyayamaw na niya Te mano ni kaya Ite mawari ato Irera ho'i matao na oy Doku ay ahiri Te ate aya ude No de na bomba Ahiri ko ay atumu Todo puna Iba'y sumay
Having issues with my camera picking up the colors, so I had to move back.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. How are you tonight? Lovely. Well, my name is Mahealani, and we're here to take you on a short journey through the South Pacific Islands. Our first stop took us to Tahiti, French Polynesia. We did the welcoming dance to the drum beats of Tahiti and welcomed you with the Rana. Now we're going to travel to one of the more popular Polynesian islands, and that is Hawaii. And I'd like to see a show of hands who's been to Hawaii. I see quite a few of you. Wonderful. Well, the greeting word is aloha, which means hello, goodbye, and I love you. So repeat after me. Aloha.
Aloha!
I know you had a big feast, so you're kind of slow. So let's try this again, because we want the neighbors to hear us. Aloha! Aha, that's more like it. Well, tonight, our chief is going to do a hula for you, and for those of you who do not know, it was the men that did the hula. The ladies were forbidden to dance. Times change, and now so the ladies can dance as well as the men. Our chief, our warrior tonight, is Chief Kasai, and he's going to do a hula called Lapa Hoi Hoi, which tells you about the young man going down to the river and showing you how to catch fish while showing off his muscles. And then the ladies will use Hawaiian implements for the hula. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here we have to Hawaii. Aloha!
I am the boy. I am the boy falling from the hoi hoi. They got my shoulders, strong as my muscle. Sexy as my body. Up the mountain I go. I find a valley stream. I throw out my fishing nets. Catch me some fish. Wow, makes me big and strong. Yeah. I have come to the end of my story. I am the boy from Lapa Hoi Hoi. Big on my shoulders, big on my muscles. Sexy as my body.
Try and get the filter correct so it shows up good. So I apologize.
And that was a hula called the rocking chair hula. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, guess what? You're going to learn how to do the hula, so I want everybody to stand. Don't worry, we're going to help you along. Just going to keep an eye on the dancers on the stage. Everybody stand. We're going to teach you how to do the hula in 2 minutes. Really easy. Alright, so first of all, our basic is to bend your knees slightly. Watch your wahinis on the stage. They'll help you along. Bend those knees slightly. Raise your arms in the air. And then put it to your left. And then you're going to take 2 steps to your left. And then change over and 2 steps to your right. To the count of the beat. So are you ready? 1, 2, 3. And the left. And 2. And right. And again. Left and 2. And right. And 2. If you bend your knees, your hips will sway. Let me see some hula hands. Once you're ready, we're going to do some hula hands. Good job. You're getting the hang of this. Okay, stop for a moment. You see, in Hawaii, we tell the story with our hands. So we're going to do some actions here. This song is called the hukilau. So let me see those thumbs, because you're going to hitch a ride down to the ocean. Oh, we're going. Hitch a ride. To the hukilau. Pull those nets. Pull your nets. The hooky, the hooky, the hukilau. Big circle for everybody. Loves the hukilau with the lau lau. Lau lau is a type of Hawaiian food. Eat, and it's okay to eat with your hands. At the big luau, the big party like we're having here tonight. From behind, take those nets. Oh, throw those nets out into the sea. Now forget you're in Florida. You're in Hawaii, so there's some big waves. And what do we find in the ocean? Fish. That's right, the ama. Hands, thumbs sticking out to the side. Come swimming to me. Oh, we're going. Hitching a ride again. To the hukilau. The hooky, the hooky, the hukilau. Now, children, the only reason you can hitch a ride is because you're with family tonight. But don't hitch a ride from strangers. At the end of the song, you're going to put 1 foot in front, both hands on your shoulders, and you're going to take a dive into the ocean. Good job. Are you ready for the song? Put everything together? I think he can do it. So we have our chief here. He's going to help us along. 2 requirements. Big smile and have some fun. So bend those knees. And the left and 2. And right. Oh, we're going. It's your ride. And pull your nets. Pull those nets. Make a big circle. And pull your nets. Now scoop your food. At the big party, from behind, throw your nets. Let me see the ocean. And your fish. Count yourself. Oh, we're going to the cloud. You're doing a good job. Let's take it up a notch. Oh, we're going. And pull your nets. And pull. Big circle for everybody. Scoop your food. Through those nets. Let me see the ocean with some big waves and your fish. Oh, we're going to the cloud. You've caught a lot of fish. Coming to the end. Now 1 foot in front. Both hands on your shoulders and take a dive into the ocean. And give yourself a round of applause. You did an awesome job. Now you can say, I learned how to do the hula at Jungle Queen Island. Now we are going to return to the island of Tahiti, where our performers are going to do for you the Ori Tahiti, the drum beats of Tahiti. Now in Tahiti we tell the story with the hips. So each performer is going to come and give them their interpretation of the drum beats. It's the competition between the drummer and the dancer. So let's hear from our first dancer, Ms. Ilani. And that was the drum dancers of Tahiti. But at this time, we're looking for 3 volunteers. 3 male volunteers over the age of 18.
God, 3 male volunteers. Oh my goodness.
Sorry, we need the male volunteers over the age of 18. Next time. Put your hands up for our dancers. Come on, we have one. We have one. Let's see, we have someone down here. We want someone down here. Send your warrior. Come up on the stage. Send your warrior. I think it was... Oh, we like a big king on the stage. One more. Okay, we got it. We got one. All right. On the stairs, please. Thank you. Now you're going to spread out. Because you're going to warm up. So you're going to watch your wahinis in front of you. And you're going to follow them. So watch your wahinis. Don't watch me. Bend those knees. And this is just a warm up. You're going to hit it a tumble out, side to side. Double time.
Oh my God. China Center is so trying.
Around the island.
Oh my God, that's too
If
funny.
you're watching our chief, you saw he did the boat thing, which is something like the funky chicken, open and close. You ever see those muscular arms?
Oh my God.
See those muscles? Woo! Doing a good job. Face the curtains.
Oh, that's too funny.
Bend your knees.
They're having fun though.
Now you're gonna shake, but don't break it. Shake those hips. Nice. Face front. Hands up in the air like you just don't care.
Oh my God.
And take a bow.
Oh my God. Woo!
It's just a warm up. So at this time, we're going to have 2 of you, and one's going to be taken in the back. Woo! Alright. So now we have our first volunteer. And I know this young man is really warmed up because I saw him moving those hips. So, and what is your name, sir?
My name is Kevin.
Kevin, and where are you from?
Philadelphia.
So let's hear Kevin from Philadelphia. Okay, Kevin, your partner tonight is us. And you're going to do whatever she does. You try. I know you can do it. So let's hear it for Kevin from Pennsylvania. That's it, Kevin. Move those hips. Shake those hips. Go, Kevin. All right. Go ahead. And take a bow.
Oh God.
Kevin from Pennsylvania.
Sorry about that. I had coughing fit there. Oh, that's good stuff.
Wow. Oh.
It was good, man. Okay, that was good stuff.
I know. What is your name?
Nicholas.
Is that really your name? Okay, so Nick, where are you from?
New Jersey.
So let's hear from Nick from New Jersey.
Go Birds.
Go Birds! Alright, Nancy, she's your party for the night. Do whatever she does. So let's have some music. Bend in those knees. Shake those hips. You go, Nick. Let's put it together, Nick. Put your hands together for Nick. Nick, go, Nick. Hands up in the air like you just don't care. Good job, Nick.
Oh God, that is hilarious.
Let's hear it for Nick from New Jersey. Honolulu, you did awesome. Thank you. You did a good job. We started off with 3. I know I sent one behind. But we have a big surprise for you. We have the big one.
Oh God.
So who's our cool tonight? Mike, and where are you from?
Utah.
currently. So let's hear from Mike, currently from Utah.
Oh, this poor guy.
You didn't see the others, so you're good, but I know you're nice and warmed up. So this is Iolani. We're going to do it slightly differently. She's going to take you from one side of the stage, and she's going to start on the other side of the stage, and you're going to meet her right in the center of the stage. Now, everybody put your hands together because he's going to need some help. Okay, Nick, do whatever Ella does. She's calling you. She's calling you. And then meet in the center. Hello, can you go? Hang on tight. Shake, shake, shake. Now you're outnumbered. Let's talk about your ladies. Take them out. Good job. Let's hear from Nick from New Jersey. No, Utah, that's right. So you did an awesome job. Let's hear from all our volunteers. They did a wonderful job. They were so great to come up with. So give them a round of applause. Well, we're leaving Tahiti and now we're going to Samoa. Now, no luau would be the same without fire. So, ladies and gentlemen, our Chief Kasai is going to return and do for you the exciting but very dangerous Nifa Afi Fire Knife Dance. Our ladies will introduce the fire knife dance. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear for Chief Kasai, who's going to ignite the night.
Doing his footsies. boy. Whoa! Wow! Oh my God! Jeez!
Ladies and gentlemen, before we come to the end of our journey through the South Pacific Islands, I would like to introduce you to my family and cast. Our first dancer is Oxy! And she's followed by Elani. Our warrior and chief of the night is Chief Kasai. My name is Mahealani. We are the Drums of Polynesia, and we wish you all the best. Spread the word, lots of aloha spirit, as we greet you with a big and one haloli. Aloha! Boys and girls, we have a few minutes before you board the boat. So please, I'd like to invite you to take pictures with us on the stairs. Just form a line on the stairs. In the back, we have lots of souvenirs to remind you of your evening at Jungle Queen Island. And as I said, we wish you all the best. Safe journey back.
All right, that was fantastic. Now I apologize that the picture wasn't the best at the beginning. Usually my camera is going to self-adjust. For some reason it was not. So I had to manually adjust the lighting, and I had to bring like I think it's the contrast down really low so everything didn't get whitewashed. Because at the beginning, because of the overhead lighting, it kind of messed with the look. So I do apologize for that. Hopefully everything after the fact looked a lot better. Well, I missed these two birds earlier. Yeah, I missed these two birds first time through. Those are very nice looking also. There we go. No sign saying what these are. Looks like a male and a female in here. So the female has the dull brown and the male is all flashy. This is nice also. Alright, so heading back on the boat. Because now I got a nice 45-minute boat ride back to where my car is parked.
Watch your heads going in.
Thank you very much. I just want to bop my head right there. Alright, so before we got on the boat, they took everybody's picture. This was mine. It was $20 cash, and luckily I put a $20 bill in my wallet before I got here. Or $22 with the card. So this is pretty cool. Comes with a folder to keep it in. So it's a pretty nice keepsake. Alright everybody, that is going to wrap up my activity. I had a lot of fun. This was a great experience, something completely different than I normally do. I said the food was phenomenal, well worth the wait. I was very hungry and I ate a lot. The show was fantastic. The whole cast did a fantastic job. So leave some comments down below what your favorite part of my activity was. A lot of stuff on the boat ride here was on the left side of the boat, and I was on the right hand side, so didn't get to show a lot of the stuff he was pointing out, but it's basically houses, really, really nice mansions, stuff that most people can't afford. Of course, I definitely couldn't. And multi-million-dollar, yachts and stuff. It was pretty cool to see, but it's just a fantasy for me anyway. But leave some other comments, suggestions, questions. I always love hearing from everybody. If this happens to be your first video of mine, this is something unique. Like I said, I've never done before, but there are some animals there, so if you like zoos and aquariums, I go to them all over the country. I also do theme parks, amusement parks, state and national parks, and occasional quirky roadside attraction. Upload new videos every Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern. So thank you guys for watching. This was a very, very fun experience. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.